Hello, my name is Pablo Arias with International Relocation Partner, and every week we're trying to bring information, useful information for the expat community. And today I'm so happy to have with me Jasmine and Christopher and Jasmine, and right there, Luca. And let me tell you, we're going to talk about what is the pregnancy process for an expat. You know, what is it to have a child in another country? So I know, and I mean, to me, honestly, this is one of like the cutest, most emotional interviews I've been doing for a long time. These guys here are my friends. I know them for like a year now, a year and a half. Yeah. We helped them through the process of moving to Costa Rica. And hey guys, could you guys introduce yourself for a little bit? You know, you guys as an expat, why Costa Rica, and you know what happened. You know, my understanding is you landed in Costa Rica, and then boom, Jasmine got pregnant. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so we decided on Costa Rica. We had visited here in 2019 for vacation, loved it. And when we decided we wanted to move outside of the States, Costa Rica was just ended up being the top on our list. It checked a lot of our boxes. Healthcare being one of the big ones for us.
Yeah, affordable healthcare for sure. With our jobs in the United States, we were kind of working as independent contractors, so we had to cover our own healthcare, and we liked the universal healthcare system in Costa Rica once you obtain your permanent residency, and we also like the fact that the cost of healthcare overall is much more affordable here than it is in the States.
Wow, that's amazing. But were you planning to have a baby? Like you moved to Costa Rica, now I'm going to have a baby, or how is this?
No.
So the babies was always in our cards, but we were, prior to moving to Costa Rica, we're trying for about a year. We decided we're moving abroad and started taking steps in that direction. So we took a break. We said this isn't a good time to have a baby, have our kid. And well, a couple months after moving to Costa Rica, we found out we were pregnant. And when we did the math in reverse, we ended up conceiving the first week we were in Costa Rica. So
wow.
Yeah. In Uvita, Costa Rica, the magic of Uvita.
Well, Uvita, that's in the Central Pacific. Uvita, that's the first place we moved you to Uvita.
Exactly.
I don't remember. So the first week, then Luca was conceived, and here's you. So we want to present you guys Luca. Beautiful baby. I'm so happy for you guys. And I guess being in a different country, do you guys have any fears or concerns of this new thing happening in your life? Now I'm gonna become a mother. What is it gonna be? You know.
Yeah, definitely. Especially.
What were your worries?
I think one of the big ones was being away from friends and family and having our first baby.
Having a support system.
Yeah.
Not having a support system in place was scary.
Yeah.
And we got around that.
We did. It's funny, I felt like when we were getting closer to having the baby, I felt like we had friends everywhere. They just kind of expanded. We met another couple in Costa Rica who were actually from the United States like us. They were also interracial relationship like us, and they were due to give birth a week before us. So,
wow.
We had a lot in common, and we really depended on each other, I think, when it came to resources and figuring out how we were going to do this.
And the thing about Costa Rica is they love babies here. They love pregnant women and they love babies. So something many people may or may not know, like if you're a pregnant woman, you're often ushered to the front of the line, wherever you are, whether it's the grocery store, the doctor's office, there's special parking spots. They love it. And even after Luca came, that still happens, and everybody just wants to see him and smile at him. And most people are respectful about not touching him or getting too close, which is good. But yeah, Costa Rica loves babies.
Isn't it like this everywhere? No.
It just kind of seems everybody loves baby arrest, right? But in Costa Rica, it just seems like it's kind of in your face. Like in the States, it's like, oh, baby, cute, bye. But here, everybody wants to see him. Everybody wants to smile at him, and I don't think you don't get a lot of preferential treatment in the States because you're pregnant. Maybe out of the kindness of people's hearts, but here it seems like that's kind of built in the structure. There's special spots,
pregnancy parking, there's things like that,
special lines, and everybody seems to know, like, hey, take care of this pregnant woman.
See, and I wonder, there are many things, there are many things that concerns, and I think one of them will be the cost. What is the cost? Perhaps, I understand the medical, I guess everywhere else is less expensive than the US, but you guys could give me some ideas.
Yeah. So medical costs starts maybe at $20K to have a baby
in the States.
In the States, okay.
States, yeah. But here we paid about what?
Total cash out of pocket was just over $6,000, and our original quote before we knew it was a C-section was about $5,000. So there were some minor complications during the procedure that upped the cost. We also elected for circumcision for Luca, which is not very common in Costa Rica. They kind of, in the private health care system here, they kind of push for that. But yeah, and so total cost was just over $6,000 here, much without insurance, much cheaper than the U.S.
$14,000 less, $14,000 less expensive. You want to put it that way, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big difference in cost. Do you feel the service was good, similar, better?
Excellent. It was excellent. I've talked to friends who've had babies in the States, and I think that they've had great doctors as well. But what we loved about our doctor is he really went above and beyond on so many levels. Not only was he very thoughtful, and he listened, and he spent good time with us at every appointment. He's like, okay, what questions do you have? We have all the time in the world. That's what it felt like, at least, even though we know he was busy. He made sure to think about what could possibly go wrong and take steps without even telling us really, or telling us that he's worried about things, and making sure that he had a backup plan after another backup plan.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is something that I compare every now and then. Sometimes it feels like the medical or the healthcare, private healthcare in the U.S. First is expensive, but we feel is more like, or it's really towards like making money. So the time of the doctor is usually super expensive, and the doctor wanted to treat, if it's possible, 20 customers a day. And in Costa Rica, it's a little bit more a slow motion, like the pace is slow. We treat relationships, and this is how I feel about relationships, are very important. Building relationships, getting to know people, going out with customers. I do all the time, getting them engaged, and the same thing with the doctors. I mean, they spend more time with you, and it's just kind of like the culture for the health industry, or in general. It may be, I cannot talk about the entire Latin America, but I can say there is a difference. It's less about treating another customer and billing and making more money. It's more about making things right for the entire thing. And this is private, so you guys are paying $6,000 is a lot of money. I mean, for lots of Costa Ricans, that's a lot of money. But even if you go to the public system, you get that entirely free. It may not be as convenient. You may have to share, the room where you're recovering with 6 other women there. But I do feel Costa Rica does it right on the healthcare system. Now,
so I want to bring this up real quick. We did have an experience in the private health, or in the public healthcare system too, because Luca was born with
jaundice.
Jaundice, yeah, bilirubin, and our pediatrician, who was once head of the Children's Hospital, the best hospital for children in Costa Rica, recommended that we go there for him, so we don't have to pay the couple $1,000s at the private healthcare system. And since he's born in Costa Rica, he is a natural born citizen here. He's a little Tico baby. He was entitled to that free healthcare. So we did use the public healthcare system as well, and it was phenomenal. You're right, we were in a room with 10 other babies and 10 other parents, but he got all the attention he needed and excellent treatment with top-notch medical supplies for his jaundice.
See, and this is so I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of the doctors and professionals that are treating you in the private sector, like in CIMA or Clínica Bíblica, they work for the public sector, and the doctors get paid very well. For the Costa Rican, for the Costa Rican cost of living, a doctor and a specialist get paid very, very well in the public sector. And they also they make other extra hours or surgeries and other things within the private sector. So it's the same doctors. We talk about the same doctors. The difference is, maybe a nicer building, private, private bedrooms for you to recovery. But that's kind of like the difference, of course, on the cost. So I'm really happy to hear you guys have a good experience. Now, I do hear, and you guys were mentioning before we start this conversation, that you guys did some research on what is the mortality rate versus Costa Rica versus United States. And this was shocking to me. I mean, can you tell us more?
Yeah. So looking at the United States, the maternal mortality rate is 13, and that's looking at all women. But when you look at Black women in the United States, the maternal mortality rate is 43. So it's a huge discrepancy.
13 what?
It's 13 per 100,000. So per 100,000 births, there's 13 women who die during childbirth. And it's 43 for Black women. And there's not a whole lot of knowledge as to why that is. There's some theories, racism being one of the big thoughts as to why that is. Not listening to Black women, or assuming that Black women don't feel pain the same way that other women do. So that was something that was very concerning for me, especially that's without any complications too. Other complications can make things more dangerous. But when I looked in Costa Rica, the maternal mortality rate was actually 27. And so for me, being a Black woman, that's a huge difference as far as from going from 43 to 27 for a maternal mortality rate.
So I do feel, in general, I do feel, and I'm proud to have a good health system. This is like a big flag for Costa Rica within the doctors that I know, my friends that I know. They're really proud of the system, and I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not, nowhere you're gonna find a perfect system. I'm saying it works, and in relationship to other systems, being it could be even free or pay very, very little, or maybe you can get an insurance local in Costa Rica. This insurance is a lot less. It makes sense when you're an expat taking advantage of this health system. And I do appreciate your time. I wanna invite everybody to visit your blog. I know you guys have a blog and a YouTube channel where you guys talk about Costa Rica, your experience. I remember seeing some videos about when the move got to your house, and I got all these things in my house. And then I've been following you. I've been checking out your videos. And also you have a blog with your write. Jasmine, you write. Can you tell us more about your writing?
Yeah. So I've been blogging for quite a while, and I know that the blog that Chris and I have together is called bloggingmoneylife.com. So we talk about our life, like moving to Costa Rica, as well as blogging if you want to learn how to blog. And we also talk about money, so making money with your blog and other ways that we make money, such as like real estate investing.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Excellent. So everybody goes visit the blog, check out the YouTube channel. So you guys are great, and I'm really, really, really proud you guys, to to have you here. Really proud to be able to help you somehow within this process. Great, thank you. And Luca, saying bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, Pablo.
And congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
start. Great start in Costa Rica. Bye bye.
Adios.